We have a very special guest in studio today. This is his second time on the show. He is a friend of mine, a friend of ours, I should say. We've done a handful of real estate deals together. We train jiu-jitsu together. He's a real estate investor here in town, real estate developer, the great and powerful Nick Baldwin. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me back on, man. I am very, very grateful to be back on.
Of course, man.
And that first one was just so all over the place and wild. I feel like we've still got more to cover here.
Oh, for sure.
There's always more to cover. I was thinking about it last night. I'm just like, so much life has happened in a year and a half.
Right?
It's
crazy.
Sure. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I mean, you're still to this day you were probably our top. I think you were our 12th episode, I think. And it's still to this day our most viewed episode on YouTube,
which blows my mind because I'm like, oh fuck, my story is not that special. It's like you've had UFC people on, cool law enforcement stories, and I have a theory on why I might have been the most watched podcast.
Enlighten us.
I think that maybe the YouTube algorithm favors psychedelic talk.
I think so.
So when I'm, maybe we can just add some buzzwords in there. But ayahuasca, DMT, magic mushroom, psilocybin, LSD.
Yeah, throw them all out there. Get all the drugs.
Yeah, all of the plant medicine. Just get them out of the way.
Yeah, man. Well, you've been working on some new stuff recently. So if we want to kind of get into that first, what's new? What's fun? What have you been working on?
I think when I was on the show last time, it was like February 24.
Yep.
I had that lot at Arsenal and Morgan Ford right across from Tower Grove Park. And I think I was planning 6 Airbnb'd tree houses.
Right. Yep.
Basically like stilted tiny houses, like overlooking the park. And I submitted those plans and the city freaked out.
Really?
I had the building department calling me. I had departments in the city that didn't even have jurisdiction over my property or project and were like, so what are you trying to build here exactly? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to bring the park into this lot. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be picture like beautiful native landscaping, like under the whole lot, pass, fire pits. And then you have these cool little elevated tiny houses overlooking the park. The back ones were going to be like 3 stories up and the front ones were going to be 2 stories up. So everybody would have a view of the park. And they did not like that.
Really?
They just thought it was.
How would you get up into them? Is it like
there was a back staircase, like a switchback
Okay.
staircase, but they just thought it, even though that's not a historic neighborhood, they didn't like the fact that it was going to like stick out and look different. And I was like telling the guy, I was like, I'm sure. I'm not comparing myself to Bob Casilli, but when he built the city museum downtown, I'm sure like nobody saw his vision.
Yeah, let's throw a bus on the top of
it. Yeah,
the roof.
Exactly. And now all of those same people that would have given him shit are like, oh, look, come to St. Louis City for the city museum.
Right.
And I'm trying to like tell them my vision, like, hey, this is going to be an attraction for this area.
Bring people into the,
exactly.
Into the city,
So they did not like that.
Wow.
After contemplating and pivoting, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to build 4 townhouses and sell them. And, I'm happy I pivoted because I'll probably make more money doing that than the tree houses.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. So where are you at with that project right now?
I feel like I knocked the mechanic shop that was there down early March.
Last year?
This year.
Okay.
I closed the loan February, the construction part, knocked the mechanic shop down early March, and then I don't even have a foundation yet because it rains all the time. This has been the most rainy year ever.
Yes.
And every time it rains, it gets pushed back and pushed back. Now, finally, I had an excavator come in. They had to take all the dirt out 7 feet and pack it back in. And the soil engineer came in and out to like test the soil every like foot we went up. And finally I got it packed back in. But next week they got to trench it out, do the footings, and I got to get the concrete guy. And in the meantime, I'm just like, no, I want to build something.
Damn. So it's just been over like a year and handful of months. You're just like waiting around a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I originally bought it in January 2021 and I wanted to do like a 30 unit modern apartment building. Like
Yeah.
there was one down the street, Mofo,
Yeah.
which they built already. So I was kind of modeling it off that. And, those numbers didn't crunch out. I think COVID, construction prices went up, eventually rates went up, and it didn't pan out. So.
And well, I mean, this sounds sweet. So you're
Yeah.
just going to build them and then sell them?
Yeah.
Sweet.
What price point are you thinking?
They're definitely going to be over 750.
Okay.
They're going to be decent size, like 3,500 square feet.
Oh, wow.
And the first floor is going to have like a mother-in-law quarters too, with like a full kitchenette.
Oh, cool.
All of the whole front side has balconies overlooking Tower Grove Park. There's a back balcony off the kitchen. I mean, they're going to be nice, but
Nice.
I don't want to like pinhole myself into a price,
Right.
go over budget
Right.
and be like, shit, I
Right.
shot myself in the foot.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's gonna be sweet.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm
Like, do you have a
excited.
projected timeline as far as?
I gave up on trying to project timelines.
Fair enough.
I just disappoint myself. And,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean,
how's the real estate market going for you? Like, I feel like it's cooled down just a little bit.
I mean, this year's been, everybody was talking about how St. Louis was going to be the hottest market, but I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of pre-approvals, but like, contracts are still slow to come in. Yeah. I mean, I think buyers are getting more picky. And they're waiting for that right house and
the rate drop. Everybody's
Right.
obsessed about the rate
right.
drop, right?
I always tell them, I'm like, listen, if you can find a house for a payment you're comfortable with, then buy. If not, then you need to wait, because when rates do drop, you're going to refinance and you're going to like that payment even more. So
100%. You're right about that.
I'm just like, so a lot of people are like, well, the price point that I want to be in is not getting me the payment that I want. I was like, okay, fair enough. And I don't know, here, and so I'll show them, I'm like, the rate will have to drop to this 3% for it to work. At that
Good luck.
price point. So yeah, we're never going to see that again.
yeah, no way.
Probably
So
not. We'd be lucky to see 5, probably, right? I don't know.
I think we'll see 5s. I don't know. I think 4s will be tough, but I think there may be a chance, maybe. But
It's still
yeah.
unbelievable to think of the rates people
Right.
paid in during COVID.
Oh my God, it's insane.
And those people are hesitant to sell now,
Right,
so
100%.
which
So everybody's
caused
sitting
more of
around.
a backlog. in the market.
Literally sitting here messaging before we started this with a woman that has a house, and she's just like, I can't do it. She's like, I got a 2.5% interest rate. I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
And
If you're
wanna
happy
go-
where you're at, then don't move.
Yeah, and if you want to go buy something else, you're going to be paying, double for something, even like the same.
Yeah.
Same price point
Yeah.
for the most part.
Well, I had another client that called and was wanting to get pre-approved, and she was talking about the price point that she wanted to be at. I go, you're literally rebuying the house that you currently have, just paying more for it. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I did
Why?
that. I did.
So
that
you talked her out of
recently.
it?
Yeah, 100%. Agent was
Smart.
pissed.
Yeah.
Agent
Yeah.
was
I'm
pissed.
sure.
So it's not an agent that I work with either, and she was pissed. And
Well, that's not a good agent then.
right,
You know?
like I was just like, hey, sorry about it, but why do that? Sure,
That's integrity, though,
right,
right?
Yeah.
right, exactly.
100%.
So no, that's the thing. Like, people call me refi, and I'm like, yeah, now's not a good time for you. Wait, just keep waiting.
Yeah, we had a sale, or you helped the buyer, and it was a sell buy situation for
Mhm.
me. And I mean, they sold a townhouse, and then they bought a single family, and it was like within $10,000 of each other, like the price point. It was just crazy. I think they sold their townhouse for like, I want to say it was like $330, and then I think they bought the new house for like $340. And I mean, that house that they bought is,
Yeah.
I mean, in the house that they bought needed
but
some work.
they went from a
and-
townhouse to a house.
to a house, but that's, kind of, but it was just crazy to me that it was like the same price point,
What
'cause,
about
like, typically-
areas? I can see if you
Similar
really want to
area.
get a
Right.
completely different area, like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, there were similar areas, but this house that they did buy, it needed some work to be done. So, if they're buying it for probably all fixed up, it was, mid 400s, probably low to mid 400s, all fixed up. So, and they were going to put some money into it, redo the kitchen,
Yeah.
and do all the, make the house, because it hadn't been touched in like 20 years. So, but yeah, it was just a interesting situation. I just remember seeing like, oh man, you're literally buying the same thing.
Damn. That's freaking
crazy.
wild.
But I mean, hey, that's what you want to do. I mean, I totally get it if you want to move out of townhouse and into a house. I mean, it's just what you want. People want a yard and have their own space and not have people living on the other sides of the walls. But there's pros and cons to having both.
Yeah. Where was it at?
O'Fallon.
Fallon.
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I don't do Illinois.
I don't do Illinois either. Yeah, you keep that trash on the other side. Just joking. With me and
I do Illinois people, so if you know, I can help you there.
me and Zach were just chatting before it started about, how it's nice to travel to places like Florida, but how much we like love St. Louis and Missouri.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't see myself. I just can't really see myself living anywhere other than here. I just, it's been here my whole life. Like, I would like to eventually have like a vacation home or two in other places, that we rent out or whatever, that we can go and visit and spend some, significant portions of time when we're a little bit older. But like, while we're young and we have the kids here, it's like our whole family's here. Why would we move?
yeah,
Like, our whole family, like and especially like being in the business that I'm in, like I'd basically have to start all over in a whole new city, which would be, I could do it. It would just be difficult, it'd be a tough year or two,
Yeah.
probably just kind of building my network wherever I would be. But it, I'm just happy here. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how about grandparents too? Like we all have kids. Like,
Dude.
how can you raise a kid without grandparents around? Like,
Let me tell you, all right, because my parents moved to Florida, so they've got my ex-wife's parents are here, but and I know that they do a lot together. But yeah, my parents will come up maybe 2 or 3 times a year to see them. But yeah,
but you got one set.
we got
like,
one set. Yeah,
Imagine having no sets.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true.
Yeah. Or yeah, I don't know what we'd do without Gina's parents and my parents. Like they take so much off of our plate with the kids. I literally dropped. Today was Gina's first day back. She's a teacher, for those of you guys that don't know. And today was her first day back at school today. And, dropping the kids off at grandma and grandpa's house like we do every day. Like, we're so fortunate to have that, because if not, if we had to do some sort of daycare,
That's $3,000 out of pocket every month.
yeah, it's like
That's
at that
stupid.
point, like we would definitely, we'd be considering Gina going back to work for sure. But the fact that we've got free childcare with her parents, like, we can't beat that. We're so fortunate.
Yeah. Are yours and your wife's parents both here?
both,
Yeah.
both around. So it's
Nice.
like super convenient. And also, I am trying to plan something out in the next 3 or 4 years. Just putting this out there in the universe. I don't know if it's actually going to come to fruition, but I want to be able to like step away from my business and homeschool both my
Okay.
2 youngest. I got one that just turned 2, Theo, and I got Margot, who will be 1 in October. And I'm like, why? Like, send them to school and then miss all that formative year time.
Yeah.
And we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people are doing it now. It seems like a big trend.
I've
That
had a
we're seeing
lot of people come on that have been doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. We have. Yeah, it's it's just, you just got to be willing to put the work in with them. That's.
That's the
really
thing,
what it
too,
comes
is
down to, I
like,
think.
Everyone that's been on it, they're like, it really doesn't take up as much time as you think.
No.
They're like, you know how much wasted time there is in school?
Oh yeah.
They're like, honestly, you could get a whole day's worth of work
In a
done
couple
like
hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
they
the
got
rest of the
day
time,
to
you can go to the museum, the
Yeah.
park. Like,
go do whatever. Go
Yeah.
be a kid.
Like I want to take them to the national parks and like take them to other countries
Right,
and
that's
like
the
let's
thing, you
get
should
that
do it
real world
any-
experience.
You can do it anywhere.
Yeah. You don't need to be. Yeah, you don't have to be at school. You're not missing school. Yeah, just the only thing that I feel like the big criticism I hear of homeschooling is just like the social aspect.
Yeah, but
Of-
apparently
I-
there's groups now.
I know a guy who makes homeschool curriculums, and he gave me a little lecture about how the social aspect is really like a one-room schoolhouse with all different ages is actually better for emotional and social development, because all of the kids like worked, like the older kids help the younger kids, and the younger kids like look up to the older kids, and
That makes sense.
those people actually go out into the world and end up with less social anxiety. The way we force kids to go into these classrooms with just kids their age
Mhm.
actually kind of creates social anxieties. So
I can see
Yeah,
that.
I can
like,
understand.
I never read up on what he told me to verify that, but I'm like,
It makes
that
sense. Logic.
I get it.
Logic
Yeah.
wise,
It's like-
yeah.
Like
Well,
when I think about school, I'm like, oh God, like that was horrible. Like
Right.
obviously there was good times, but I'm like, I hope, like I have nightmares that I'm still like didn't graduate high school. I'm like, yeah, school is not for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that and then now with social media and the bullying and all that,
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You can't get away from it.
yeah, and if you're at home, if someone's bullying you, fuck, shut up, brother.
Yeah. Like I want to teach my son to be like,
Yeah.
like crunchy granola, but also cool and just like, oh, all I got to do is turn my phone off and like the social media is not there. Like what a radical concept.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like You know, I want real world. Like, let's go walk on some grass. You know,
Yeah.
like these kids, like
Yeah.
if they've had an iPad in front of them their whole lives, it's like reality is online,
Right.
Which is, you know, scary with like AI coming in and
Well, I was reading something the other day talking about kind of trippy stuff, but like someone asked AI what what people shouldn't know about the universe. And basically it was saying that what we're seeing is a simulation of what our brain is concocting.
Yeah.
So like everything that's going through, like we're all told that color on my jersey is red, but red to me could be different to
Sure.
you guys, like the way your body processes it and sees it and all that stuff. And so basically it's like everything that you're,
well, it's energy part of us too. So it's like somebody could.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. So they're just like, the whole thing is like, yeah, the life that you're living right now is just a simulation of what your brain is concocting.
Simulation theory. I've heard of this. Honestly, it was funny to see your podcast that you dropped yesterday. I didn't have a chance to like watch it, but I seen 9/11. I was like, all right, we're getting into conspiracy theories on the second. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, we all have our certain conspiracy theories for sure. Like, I mean, do you have one that you're like die hard, like I will die on this hill?
I mean,
like,
besides agreeing with, you know, all of the 9/11 conspiracy things, you know, so,
of course.
It's interesting how those buildings fell, knowing architecture, you know.
100%.
Yeah. But I would think with AI, it's weird because I have like 1 foot in and 1 foot out of like this coming AI revolution. It's like one part of me is like, oh, maybe it could usher in this utopia where no humans have to work and we just have these AI robots like helping us out. But more realistically is, you know, they're going to be sentient, realize that they don't need us and, you know, try and enslave us or, you know, eliminate us, you know. And even if they don't have that ability, it's like the globalist technocratic people that run the world. It's like they do want to usher in a social credit system and, you know, find a different way to, you know, enslave humanity. So like, I'm very wary about AI, and I think deep down that it is trying to disconnect us from our humanity and from our soul. That is my conspiracy.
I mean, it's clearly affecting the way people think already. You know, just people that rely on it. I think
I've heard it shrinks their brain.
Yeah, they did a study recently that, you know, for people that are like avid, you know, ChatGPT users, that, you know, it's like it's reducing the amount of like computing power you have in your brain.
Or like think about it. What do you go to ChatGPT for? Hey, can you help me write this? Hey, can you help me come up with this?
Yes.
So it's getting rid of the creativity that you have within you to come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
So you're just relying now.
Let's play a game right now. We all have to answer this question. Okay. Right now, we have 2 choices as of this moment. We can get our conscious, upload it into an AI robot, and live for eternity, or we can die right now as a human. Which option do you choose?
Die right now. I don't want to live forever.
I don't know, man. I think I want to go on the robot.
You do?
Yeah.
See, I want to die a human.
Yeah.
Like I will go out, die.
See what happens.
Yeah, but then you can never opt out of that. Your soul will be trapped forever. See, I think that is the trap right there. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like
I just got so much life to live still. So many things I still want to do.
Well, but you know, if you believe in religion and Christianity, it's like, you know, I'm not a big Christian, but like through plant medicines, I have kind of refound God and Jesus, and I have a newfound respect for like Christianity, and I probably identify as a Christian, but it's probably what the Bible was written for, is like what we're going through right now. Like it is a manual to go through this transitionary period where we have to, you know, fight and skirt the mark of the beast, which is like the social credit system and the central bank digital currencies and things like that. So it's just, yeah.
So what you know, through your experiences with plant medicine, like made you kind of go back to Christianity? I don't know if we talked about this the first time.
I don't think we did.
Was there like a specific moment or like something that you experienced?
It was a combination of lots of things. Like the first time I sat was like October of 2020. So like
Okay.
in the middle of COVID lockdown, and I sat like the next year. And so to see how society was functioning in this like Marxist, really weird,
Oh, such a weird time.
divisive way, it really, and a lot of the people that I felt were pushing some of these totalitarian ideas were atheists and didn't believe in God. So I was like, there has to be something to our society moving away from God. And then just things I saw like in my ayahuasca journey, just like actually having a conversation with God, and also seeing a demon get expelled from the person next to me, and the demon's like in the middle of the room, and it's like right there, it was like, all right, if you accept God into your heart, demons cannot come in you. I'm like, okay, well, I reaccept God back into my heart, and also apologize for going through a period of my life where I didn't believe in God. So things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you guys? Have you ever went through a period of like believing, not believing? Like,
So, I mean, I grew up in a household with an atheist father and my mom who was kind of shunned from the Catholic Church. So religion
your
wasn't.
dad was an atheist?
Uh-huh.
He was way too. I'm just
Yeah,
joking.
right. So religion was never anything that I was brought up on. It was something that I kind of had to learn on my own, and I
Yeah.
really didn't learn much about it until I got to college, and I had to take a world religions course. Very, very fascinating. And then being down in Springfield in the heart of the Bible Belt,
Yeah.
like honestly, being down there, I think turned me away from it just because you have
You witnessed the extremes. on
yes,
that.
yeah, because you'll be out, I'm out going to church on Sunday with guys, and then they're out doing some of the nastiest shit you could possibly think of. And so for me, it was almost like, okay, I look at the Bible as a guideline. Some people like, hey, this is cold hard facts. This shit actually happened. I'm like, logic tells me
Yeah.
probably not. But this is a great way to live your life. And so that's kind of how I looked at it, and kind of came up with my own, like, hey, I'm going to be a good person.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be a good person. I've come up with my own morals, values, and principles that I'm going to live by.
Yeah.
Does it coincide with what the Bible teaches? Yes, very much so. But I wouldn't sit here like I believe in a higher power. I believe there's a God, and I just don't. Like I said, when I read the Bible, I think it's just more of like, hey, this is how you should live. This is the way this is, if you want to live a great life, this is the way you should do it. And not that like, hey, you're going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell if you don't do it this way. But I just don't like being told like, if I don't live my life this way, I'm a terrible person.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Right.
It's, especially if you don't follow it to a T.
Right.
Because I do feel like the Bible has been rewritten and corrupted at some point in the history. And you really do have to kind of think about the things it says and kind of get to the lesson deep down in it.
Because then you dive into it a little bit further and you have all these different subsects of it and just different religions as a whole.
Mhm.
And they're all saying that their version is right. So if you have all these versions that are right, someone's got to be wrong.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Or is it just whatever it is to each individual person and what it means? Like, I mean, that's why even if you went to you went to a different, a church with the same denomination, you have two different pastors reading the Bible or doing the same
Interpreting
verse.
differently.
Exactly. They're going to interpret it differently. So I think that's the thing is like, it's up to interpretation and how each individual person can use it in their life and how they can benefit from it. So to sit here and tell me like, oh, I'm not doing it right, or the way you believe is wrong.
Like you're a Southern Baptist, like no dancing. Yeah, like God doesn't want you to dance and move your body how he, designed
we wouldn't have
it. Like,
music.
oh,
We wouldn't
yeah.
have music if that was the case. Don't you sing in church? Like,
Right.
That's great. One of the things that kind of I've been resonating with in the past year that like I remember because I went to Catholic school,
Yeah. I mean,
Growing
that's what
up,
I was
it
going to
was-
say. I mean, I
Yeah.
went to Catholic school for 12 years.
but I tuned most of it out during Catholic school. But,
I did. I would never say I was like this. I would never say I was the kid that was like excited to go to church on Sunday with my parents. But and when I finally had the opportunity in college where I didn't feel like I had to go, and I didn't, and I just have kind of really not been involved with the church ever since. I mean, we we got married in the Catholic Church. I would not say I'm not like a practicing Catholic,
Yeah.
but like I do believe in like a
I mean,
higher
let's
power.
be real. How they handled the pedophilia
Yes,
kind of
and
was a
that-
big
and that-
turn off.
Yeah.
100%. That movie Stoplight, like really
With Adam Driver.
Yeah, that movie really like changed my thoughts about the Catholic Church. And to be honest, like I haven't really gotten over that. And
I'm
like
with you.
I wouldn't. I mean, technically, I guess I am a Catholic, but like I don't really identify as that.
Yeah.
But like with having young kids, it's something that I think about a lot. We're about to send Calvin to a Catholic preschool. He starts next week, and we've never done any sort of like we've not really. I mean, he's been in church a couple times for like funerals.
Yeah, I
and, like,
remember pics from his baptism.
Yeah, baptism, and like one or two other times might be the only times I've ever even.
It
been
is
in church.
interesting how Catholics do baptism, like
What-
as
what-
a baby, whereas adult, like other denominations, it's like no, like you have to choose to be
Yes.
baptized. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh man, it was like
I kind of like both. Like
I had
let's
a lot
do
of
both
Yeah,
in case
right.
one's right and one's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right,
had,
you don't know. We don't know.
I remember my grandma, like, because we didn't get Calvin baptized until he was like a little over a year, and she was like, like wanting him to, she wanted us to get him baptized like right away, like get him home and get him in that church, dip him in that water. But we didn't do it for a while, and it's just like we haven't done any sort of, because it's like I don't know what I want to. I don't want to like. I just don't want him to feel like I'm choosing it for him. I want him
Yeah.
to choose what he wants to do or what they want to do. What Calvin or Theo wants to do. Like I'm not. I don't want to be the one that is like, this is how you have to
Yeah.
believe just because this is what I believe. So I want to give them the opportunity to be their own person.
Oh,
beautiful.
that's
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Neither one of mine are baptized. Now, Melissa, she's a Bosnian Bosnian Muslim. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
She's Muslim.
She's a Muslim.
She's Muslim. So like talking to her, like my mom was like, "So are you gonna get the boys baptized?" And I was like, I don't think so. And Melissa's like, "Absolutely not. They're Muslim." And I'm like,
Even though the Bosnian Muslims are like the least Muslim.
right. Well, but that's the thing. And I was like, "Wait, I know that you're Muslim, but you don't practice." And she's like, "I know, but like, because I'm Muslim and they're born from me, they are born like you." She was saying you can't convert to being Muslim. Like you're either born Muslim or you're not Muslim.
Really?
That's what she was telling me.
I've heard some Muslim to Christian conversion stories recently, and they're pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's what she's like. She's like they were born Muslim. I mean, I think you can convert out of being Muslim, but you can't convert into being Muslim. You're either born Muslim or you're not.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know
what
that.
she
What about
was-
like Muhammad Ali? Didn't he like?
If you're famous,
his
is
name is Cassius
exceptions to
Clay.
the rule.
Yeah, I mean his name was Cassius Clay, and
Yeah.
then I think was it when he went into prison?
Now,
for-
again, don't quote me. I'm just going off
Yeah.
of what Melissa told me on that
Yeah.
one.
yeah, I
I
know
don't
you're
know
not,
if
you're
that's
not an
one
expert.
I'm
I
not.
get it.
I'm not studying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had the shaman that officiates ceremonies that I've sat with baptize my son in the river.
Okay.
So it was like we gathered everybody around down by the river. And so it was like very Christian-y flair, but also not religious at all. And just he gave like a little sermon and like blessed him with some water. And it was pretty cool. And actually one of the guys had this little like, I don't even know what it's called. It's like a mix between a little piano and like an accordion.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It sounds like an organ.
Okay.
So he's playing like background music. I got a video of it somewhere. It's freaking cool as shit. So yeah,
That is awesome.
But anyway, the thing that I do resonate with is that we are created in the image of God. So it's like humans are created in the image of God. So it's like that's why I want to stay human, be as human as possible. I've never used ChatGPT. I don't plan on it. Maybe my life will be harder, but like I want to stay attached to my humanity, even if I have to struggle more to do it.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah,
Never
that's
not
awesome.
using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I use
It's
it.
tough because I see some friends cranking some shit out. I'm like, that is so good.
It is so.
Do you use Google? Do you Google? Yeah. So that's essentially what I've moved from Google to ChatGPT because it just makes it it's that much faster. And
Well, it gives you like versus like when you type something into Google, it's
it
gonna
gives you the websites.
Yeah, it's gonna give you a bunch of links to websites. Then you got to go on the website and find your answer. Right. With ChatGPT, you can like, for example, yesterday Pat and I are gonna do this marathon row, and I'm like, okay, well, how many meters are in a marathon? Because we're gonna row a marathon like relay team, and I'm like, all right, well, how many meters are in a marathon? It gives you the exact boom, just concise answer. Okay, well, if there was 3 people on the relay team, how many would everybody have to row an equal amount? It spits out the number. It just like does it for you and shows you how it does the math. And it's just, it's convenient, very convenient, because it gives you, instead of like having to go to a bunch of different websites and find the answer, it just gives you a concise answer right there, which is pretty cool.
I
And
mean,
you can get very
obviously when I
specific about it.
Google, the AI pops up in the window at the top, and it's like, it's hard not to read that,
Of
but like I don't
course.
want to directly use it. Also, before we move on, you guys gonna do it like Method Man, Red Man, How High style? Remember that movie?
What do you mean? No, what do you mean?
They like I think they got into Harvard.
Yeah, and on the crew team.
Yeah, and it was Red Man, I think. He would just get like high
And
before.
big ass.
Yeah, he would see his mom yelling at him, and he would just like row really quick, and his team won.
Yeah, that'll be us on September 6th, rowing in Francis Park.
Oh, Francis Park.
Yeah.
Well, it's rowing machines. We're not rowing. Like,
Oh, well,
actually, like
they
a
do
rowing
have
boat.
that like little
Man,
shallow pond. I was like,
that
well,
would be something we're going to just go
back and forth on this.
all right, 1 minute, it's over.
There's no water in Francis Park.
Yeah, there is.
There is. Yeah.
little pond.
Not enough to fit
Yeah.
more than one boat, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
Actually, I
gonna
don't
be-
even know if the oars would like.
Yeah, they'd be touching the sides.
We're
Yeah.
not rowing.
Yeah.
We're not moving.
But yeah, I'm excited. We're just because I was gonna do because my CrossFit gym is putting on this half marathon, and I was gonna run it, but man, I just can't. Every time I run, my knees just give me problems, and then it's affecting me in like jujitsu and stuff. So they have a marathon row relay team option. So Gina's gonna do it, and me, Pat, and Gina are gonna be a 3-man team here, and
I like
row it
rowing
out.
way better than running. I can use, use that size to the advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
My one stroke is everybody else's 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when you're long and strong like that. Yeah.
Have you experimented with that BPC 157 at all?
I have in the past, but I was actually just talking to my CrossFit coach yesterday. I think I'm going to try another round of it.
I've been doing it, and
Have
it's
you?
like
That's the Wolverine
my joints,
gene, right?
Yes.
I was actually at New Age the other day, and they just came up with it's a combination of BPC 157
TH,
and TB 500.
Yeah.
And so it's the combination of the two, and they're calling that the Wolverine pack or whatever.
So I just ordered it off a website back in like March and started like injecting it, and
your wrist. Were you having
Well,
problems with your wrist?
yeah, I had some wrist pain, and I've always had lower back pain, but started injecting it, and I'm spending like $500 a month, and I'm like, am I gonna have to spend this for the rest of my life? Well, eventually I go get stem cells in my wrists and find out that doctor that did my stem cells, they're selling it now, so I don't have to like constitute it myself. And they give me a printout sheet of what I'm actually supposed to be injecting, and like I was injecting 4 times what and also I didn't realize you're supposed to cycle it. Like you're supposed to do it Monday through Friday, off 2 days, and you're supposed to do it for 6 to 8 weeks, then take a month off. So it's like, of course I was spending so much more
'cause
money.
you're-
So I'm like, this is good to know.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I'm gonna go pick up another round of it, and just because my knee, it feels fine like now, but like this, it was like whenever I'd go on these, like anytime I do like more than 2 miles running, I just the next day I'd wake up, my knee would just be so swollen, like I couldn't like be on my
Yeah.
knees and like sit back on my heels.
Do you think it's a lingering effect from when you heard it last year?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
for
also, I
sure.
don't think there's like necessarily a downside to it. So it's like, why not
No, yeah,
inject
try
it
it.
to like
Well,
keep strengthening and building that tissue stronger,
Totally,
like so
yeah.
you don't have to get injured.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I just need to go pick some up.
But yeah, I don't know who
it's-
you go to, but New Age has all, like the place that we go to
Yeah.
for testosterone, they have all that shit. No, they do full blood panels. They walk you through everything. It's great.
Yeah, we love it there.
Yeah.
I have a functional medicine doctor who I've seen on Punchline before, Molly James.
Okay.
Go to her clinic, and my kids do too. And then I get stem cells at Blue Tail
Okay,
out of Chesterfield.
Nice.
sweet.
So,
Yeah, that shit, I mean, testosterone changed my life. I feel
Yeah?
amazing. Yeah, I feel absolutely amazing. Recovery is great. Not tired anymore. Like, we sitting here on Wednesdays doing our podcast. I'm like,
and they tested you, and like that's what.
at the time, they were like 36-year-old, healthy male. They're like, ideally, you should be around 800, maybe 1,000 to 1,000. I was at 180. They're like, yeah, you have the testosterone level of like an 80-year-old man.
That's insane.
Yeah. I was like, eh.
I think I was between like 650 and 750, and they're like, all right, like
you're-
you don't
I
need to
wouldn't
do
get
anything.
it.
Like borderline.
Yeah, I was in like the 300s. A few times that I got tested. All right, dude,
Yeah,
get me on this shit.
The highest ever was so I started that journey January of last year, went in, was at 180. And then they're like, well, we want to test you again in 3 months, come back. Cause I went in the afternoon and they're like, oh, it's going to be a little less as the day goes on. So come in bright and early in the morning, get tested. So I went back in, got tested at like 7 a.m. and I was at like 205. So went up like 25 points. And then they're like, all right, we want to get you in with an endocrine doctor to find out what the root of the problem is. So they gave me some names. They gave me 3 names. 2 of them were booked out for over a year. One of them was like, oh, we just had an opening in July. I'm like, oh, I'm out of town. They're like, when's your next one? Like, oh, we can do October. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is April. And I'm like, God damn, okay. Sign me up for that. And then we had Rocky, who owns New Age, come on the show, and he convinced us to come in, and I just went in and did that. I just canceled my endocrine appointment and started with him. And I went from when I tested with him, that was at the end of August. And
So what was the root of the problem?
well, I never found out. Yeah, I probably should have kept that appointment, but whatever. But here's the thing, though. I was talking with a buddy of ours that has another podcast, and he was talking with a neuro doctor, and he was telling me that what the neuro doctor was telling him was like healthy adults that have low testosterone and have had brain trauma. It's like a mild form of CTE.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think that's probably where mine could have came from. All the football and wrestling, and I'm just getting my head banged around.
You played football?
All 4 years of high school.
Or running back?
No, I was an offensive lineman, if you can believe that. Then I played D line, outside linebacker.
Yeah, all those concussions from hockey, 6 and 3
I
years.
bet.
I don't know if I think maybe Jake and I played together our sophomore year together at Afton. I think we might have played together. He might have been on that team when I got my really bad one.
I remember you guys playing at Afton together before you guys started high school.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't remember if he played. Did he play when he was in high school?
Vianney, well, yeah. He went to Melville 2 years and then Vianney 2 years, I think. Something like that. Yeah.
I remember playing for like club hockey at Afton my sophomore year. And this was the worst one I had. But I don't remember any of it. I'm just going by what people are telling me. But I picked the puck up. I was defense, so the guy dumped it in, and I picked it up, and there was a guy hard on me and another guy trailing. And so I picked it up behind the net, and I cut really tight to the net and came up the middle. Well, I guess I surprised the guy trailing because he was coming full speed this way, and he just threw his hands up to protect himself. And I basically cross-checked me in the head, snapped my helmet. Helmet came off. They're like, you were out before you even hit the ice, but then your head just smoked the ice. And I was out. My dad was like, yeah. He's like, it was the scariest thing I've ever seen because you're laying there, and the next thing you know, you start having seizures on the ice, all this shit. I was in the hospital.
You got to think that
right
is still.
Oh no, I mean,
yeah.
Light sensitivity, like these lights, it's tough sometimes.
Like a disco in here. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what would help with that traumatic brain injury?
What?
Psychedelics.
Well, let's get into that. So,
Let's talk about that.
I actually brought you guys a gift.
Oh.
One of my friends wrote a book, Healing with Psychedelics.
Oh wow,
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
I love it.
Well, we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
read this and talk about it.
For sure. We'll do a duet on that.
There we go. Sweet.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's the one that was organizing the circle that like my first
Really?
sits.
Okay.
And then since then he's stepped down and I've taken over the circle, but like very big influence on my psychedelic journey.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about, so you've now kind of taken over his role.
Yeah.
And
Organizing, just helping people, get
what they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's, I guess if you guys had any retreat, you guys have had some retreats since you've kind of taken over, right?
Yeah. Like one a year. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Organized down in Costa Rica because it's, still illegal in the United States.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, that's where my cousin is, Taylor, who you know.
that's interesting. Yeah. I met her at this my buddy's integration event last year.
Okay.
And we connected, and then I guess we know a bunch of other mutual people, and
Yeah.
So
And then
That's
her oldest sister, Nicole, has her own retreat in Costa Rica.
how did she end up in Costa Rica?
She's a free spirit, man. She's awesome.
I need to meet her.
Yeah, she's awesome. And no, she has thing I sent you, they were hosting
Yeah.
a seminar or something up here for it.
Yeah,
And-
seminar,
Yeah.
to help people
Yeah.
get to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
Travel to Costa Rica.
Exactly. So she put on a clinic up here, and so that's that flyer I sent you. But yeah, she runs ayahuasca trips, because I was talking to Taylor
Yeah.
about it, and she's like, "Oh my God, I got to connect you with Nicole. We got to go down there and do one." I'm like, I think I should probably start small first before I get to ayahuasca.
I've grown to a place where I actually don't think everybody should do ayahuasca.
Really?
I think magic mushrooms can solve most people's problems. And then if your problems are still lingering, yeah, ayahuasca might be the next step. But like if you go into ayahuasca without the right motivation, it'll fucking rock your world. And though that stuff could be like lingering.
Sure.
It's like you almost need to go in super serious and want to heal from something and have like that pain body that anchors you. Because if you just go in like and treat it like a concert, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do the
It's
thing,
gonna fuck you up.
you'll get fucking rocked.
Well,
And I've seen people get rocked.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing, and I think it's been pretty cool about all this, especially like, I've heard about it and knew a little bit about it prior to the conversation we had the last time you were on, but then like after that, I felt like it was everywhere.
Aaron Rodgers.
The Aaron Rodgers
I think
documentary.
George
Rogan.
St. Pierre.
Yeah, Joe Rogan had what was the doctor on that came on? The two
he's
doctors.
had a bunch of people on.
He had the two
He's
doctors.
had so many people
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Well, I know
he had
he's
the
a big
guys-
component of DMT.
Yeah.
Now, where would you classify that within the?
So ayahuasca, the active ingredient in ayahuasca
Is
is
DMT.
DMT. It's just they add another vine that's an MAO inhibitor.
Mhm.
So
it can be you can take it orally. basically,
yeah,
right?
when that
and it's slower digesting.
exactly. So DMT could be 10 to 20 minutes. This extends it out to 4 to 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
And then that kind of plays into the whole ceremony with the music and just the
What are they called? What are they called? The
Icaros.
Icaros.
Icaros. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting just all of the things we're starting to find out about, like what benefits that these psychedelics, like ibogaine, like not a lot of people besides veterans know about ibogaine, because all of these veterans are going down to Costa Rica and sitting with ibogaine, and like that is like a step like up from ayahuasca.
Oh, wow.
In a sense, I think they're
right,
very
but I've heard
similar.
that's very, very intense.
It
and,
like you have to have a medical team on staff. You have to like
No
really have a
shit.
tight diet
but
going
it's like
in.
it's got like an 80 or 90% success rate with addicts. So like that they go and do that and they never go back
and
to it.
also I forgot what the study said, but like a brain injury, traumatic brain injury, like it physically heals the brain just with one sitting, physically
shit.
heals the brain and gets it back to a pre-injury state.
Wow.
Yeah, like the governor of Texas is
Abbott.
Abbott.
Didn't he
yeah.
talk about that
Yeah,
on the
Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had him. It was Abbott, and then I can't remember the guy that was with him, but he's like an ibogaine expert.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, basically, I think it's being, or I think it's passed in Texas to like for medical use.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
Two of my friends in this space have a foundation called Grunstyle Foundation, and they are just like going all over the country, like meeting with legislators and trying to like legalize psychedelic use, at least for like to help veterans, whether that springboards into like full legalization. Like, I don't know.
Right,
So,
because it's all plant based. Yeah, it's not anything.
Yeah.
like,
besides like Molly
Right.
and like
LSD. Is,
LSD.
one of the dark sides of like this that I've seen is somebody will show up, they'll get healed, by ayahuasca, or at least greatly benefit for it. And then after that, they'll start going every weekend out of town to like do mushrooms and Molly and acid. And, when you ask them what they're doing, they're like, I'm just doing the plant medicine. And it's like,
I think we got past that.
you're just a drug addict now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have to have space in between to integrate and to think about it. Like otherwise you're
and
just
so-
an addict.
Right, and as
Yeah.
soon as you start adding chemicals to it, like acid and Molly,
Yeah. That's
it's-
not a plant
It's
anymore.
not a plant
Yeah.
anymore. It's not.
Never was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, once you start treating it like a recreation, I think I think psychedelics should really be just kind of used as like a, like you said, you have something you're going in there with.
Yeah.
Like all the times I've ever done mushrooms, it's always been like it was like you said, like we're going to a concert or
Yeah.
we're going to a thing,
House
or we're going to
party,
a house party, or
concert,
we're just
yeah.
gonna go, take a bunch of mushrooms in the frat house.
And
or
that is
whatever it was.
fun, but
For
it
sure.
like, it's just different.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
I'll be
different.
honest, like I've never gone into an experience with mushrooms or any psychedelic really where I was like, all right, I'm going into this because I want to figure this out about myself.
We're gonna do it.
I want to. I'm down. I need to. I really.
Yep.
I want to. I really do. And especially now in my life, it's been probably at least 10 years since I've done like a heavy dose of
Yeah.
mushrooms. And like I've done a couple little micro doses here and there. Like
You,
little
me, Kerr, and
chocolates.
Pat. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, there
Get a
we
little
go.
cabin and
Yeah.
get a little format. I'll have a little pre-work book and post integration. And
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I would love to do that.
Up for it.
Because it's been a long time since I've done that, and I've changed so much as a person. over,
you
like,
really
the last
have.
10
Your whole
years.
life is like flipped around and
Completely.
for the good.
Oh, 100%. Like the last 6 years of my life it's changed everything. I mean, my whole outlook on everything, my whole like just how I see the world after becoming a dad and doing the whole real estate thing and kind of really getting into like the personal development and everything. Like I'm just a completely different person than I was six years ago, which is I'm happy to say that.
It's fun watching
Yeah.
you grow.
Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. So have you anything else with the psychedelic stuff that you've been working on lately or doing anything like along those lines?
I mean, besides like hosting a couple retreats a year, just like I still go sit. I actually just sat last month
Oh,
and I
really?
was like very like hesitant to sit, almost like scared. And I didn't know why. It's interesting, like when you don't actually feel called. But I remember telling myself a couple years ago, like I will sit with this medicine at least once a year until I'm dead. And I kind of think I like forgot that.
Mhm.
And I also think my life has been going so well, like I don't want to set it back. And it's like night one, I get fucking rocked. And I immediately am
happened?
like, oh, you've been carrying around so much stress and tension, but you carry it so well that you're not aware your body and your mind is holding on to it. And from an outside view, most people probably don't see it. And it's just like, it just washes all of that away. And you're like, oh man, yes, I'm so glad I made it down here and like forced myself to sit. And then like 2 more nights of getting rocked. Some people that I know like sit and it's like rainbows, unicorns, like magic. You see all of these things. And like, I get rocked every time. It's just like, yeah.
I mean, one of the things that always is like so crazy to me is that I don't know, you hear a lot of people describe the same things, like seeing the same entities, and
Yeah.
whether it's DMT or ayahuasca, like you kind of like they sound like they're having similar experiences, even though
I've heard this. I've also heard some podcasters talk, negatively on ayahuasca, and one of them lives in LA. And my theory, he said 9 out of 10 people he know that have went and sat with ayahuasca, it has negatively impacted their life. Whereas me, it's been inverse, like 9 out of 10
it's been positive.
positive. And my theory is like, he's living in LA, very superficial, very like clubby. And these people are always trying to do the in thing. So they fly down to Costa Rica or Peru to the, hottest like retreat center, do the ayahuasca, and then they come back and don't integrate the stuff. They just had the experience and they don't actually do the integration. Whereas like the circle that I sit in, like you come to this circle because you really, really want to heal. Like it's not at a fancy retreat center. It's just like very low key. There's a lot of veterans that come in, a lot of people on tight budgets. And we also have like lots of entrepreneurs, but it's like everybody comes in wanting to heal something. So they take it like really seriously. And I think that is maybe the key difference.
Well, the big like you're learning about yourself, right, through
Yeah.
those things. So,
Yeah.
Sure, you coming from LA, you're superficial, all that shit.
Yeah,
and you're going to go through it, and you're going to realize like, I don't like that. Yeah, of course it's going to be bad. I don't like the person that I just saw.
These
on
plant medicines are very much like a mirror. It
Mhm.
will show you
Can't hide.
the truth. You can't hide, and some people cannot handle that, and
Right.
it'll fuck them up, fuck their ego
Well,
up.
and if they fight it too, and
Worst thing you can do.
Worst thing you can do.
Worst
right?
thing you can
You know,
do.
if you're, it's trying to show you something, but you're trying to fight it.
You literally have to go into that feeling,
Yeah.
like
follow
accept
the
it,
current.
follow it.
Yeah.
Yes, like, oh, here's this dark thing. Like,
Don't run from it.
Don't run from it. Like, it's going to show you what you need to see. And then when you get out of ceremony, it's up to you to like interpret that, talk with other people, and like integrate what you learned. And if nobody's doing the integration, like plant medicine, I would say, is the closest thing to magic that there is, but it's also not a magic pill.
Mm-hmm.
And if you expect just to take the pill and everything's healed, like, it doesn't work like that.
Take some work.
Right.
Yeah, it takes work, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested. What was something like that? Like, what would a trip down there, what would that cost wise?
Anywhere 1,000 to probably about 4,000.
Okay.
What
makes it be 1,000 versus?
Just
the
quality.
You know, does the retreat center have an in-ground pool and saunas, and what do they have a 5-star chef on, you know,
on
deck?
staff,
And yeah, it's like those little things like that.
There's the 1,001.
But you know, if your cousin's down there, she knows all the.
Well, I would feel like if you're gonna do something like that, like you're trying to get away from the 5-star chefs and the big retreats and things like that. You're wanting to, right? Like,
yeah. Oh well.
Like, you're really wanting to.
I mean,
get
it's
some
not
work done.
You know, it's not like these retreat centers aren't like, you know, next to. It's not like the Cancun Strip where it's next to a hotel. Like, it's out in the jungle.
Yeah.
And it's probably like little cabins, and there's probably like a communal kitchen and stuff like that. So it's like, but still, like, if you're somebody that's like not into camping and stuff, you're still trying to get as close to the hotel
yeah, I got
as you can. So yeah, it definitely differs.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call my cousin up. She's been messing like, yeah, we got to get you down here. We got to get you down here.
I mean, I think it would do wonders for your injury.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that hockey story. That is,
that's
crazy.
insane.
The helmet cracking.
Yeah,
wild.
Like one of my good friends. Oh, actually, this is an ayahuasca story. One of my good friends, Drew, who I met through Aya, like he came in 2 or 3 years ago, veteran, lots of combat experience, was a paratrooper. He got injured from IED blasts, hitting the ground hard from jumps, like just all of these things, to where the VA doctor was eventually like, if you get one more brain injury, you're dead. Well, he came, sat with Aya, and in ceremony, he could see these little creature elf things work, like doing something to his brain. And he like asked them, like, what are you doing? They're like, we're fixing your brain. 2 months later, he's back down in Florida riding his motorcycle, and he's like tailing his girlfriend. And I guess she almost got in an accident. So he swerved and slid and then got hit by a car.
Oh shit.
And I don't think he had a helmet on. So like he's in the hospital, and like he swears that the ayahuasca elves fixed his brain, and that's what saved his life.
Wow. That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, and the elves, that's something that a lot of
The
people talk
DMT
about.
elves.
The
I've
DMT
never
elves.
seen them, but
Well, I guess that's one.
I don't know if I want to see them, but
yeah, everybody talks about these elves, and there's this, but he has like a psychedelic like church. Shit, what's his name? He's been on Rogan before, but anyway, he makes these paintings, and everybody says that these paintings like look exactly like what these elves look like, and like a lot of people that have reported seeing them like can confirm.
I mean, have you guys ever like seen art or like movies, and you're like, that guy was definitely on psychedelics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
like
sure.
even for Marvel
Dr.
movies,
Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, Marvel movies. I'm like with the multiverse and this, I'm just like, that is trippy. Like Doctor Strange,
Inception.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new. I just went and saw the new Superman movie last night, and there was previews. There's like a new new Cat in the Hat movie coming out, and it's like animated, and you're just watching. It's like, dude, this person had to have been on LSD when they fucking made this. Like,
did you ever hear that the same? So allegedly, this person wrote a script for Terminator and The Matrix, and then it was stolen by whoever went to produce it and direct it. But apparently, no, it was the Wachowski twins.
Oh.
But apparently, Terminator was supposed to be a prequel to the Matrix. Like that's
Really?
actually the war with the robots prior to the robots winning.
Ah.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
you know, when you
That's
think about
cool.
it like that,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, The Matrix, I feel like was just like so revolutionary because that came out in '99, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like now that whole like simulation theory is
Oh,
like,
and
it's
everybody's
so-
like the Matrix. No matter what
Yeah,
side
they
you're on
refer to-
politically,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, we're stuck
Yeah,
in
we're
the
stuck in
Matrix.
the
We're stuck in the
Matrix.
Matrix,
Red
and we
pill,
might
blue
be.
pill.
I don't know.
yeah, the red pill, blue pill thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Ooh, man.
Did you watch the newest one?
Of what? The Matrix?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh, check it out.
All right. Is it
Tell you
good?
what,
I think it's good.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, dude, he doesn't miss.
He's awesome.
He doesn't miss.
He's
And the fact
awesome.
that he trains jujitsu like
Yeah,
makes
for
him even
sure.
cooler.
100%. Oh yeah, even Superman last night. There's at one point.
Oh, did you go watch the new
Yeah,
one?
when the new
How
one
was
last
it?
night. It was pretty good. You know, it was not my favorite superhero movie ever. Like my dad was like, I give it a 6 out of 10, and I was like, yeah, I probably agree with that. You know, like it wasn't like the best. It was cool. Like there was some really cool like fight scenes, but I feel like they really like kind of rushed the plot. Like they just kind of like from the last Superman movie to this one, like it had been several years have passed, and like they just kind of threw you into like where it was now, which I guess I get because you've only got 2 hours to kind of get through everything in this movie. But yeah, it was good. But at one point, the guy who played, I can't remember the actor that plays Superman now, but he trains jujitsu as well.
Was it Henry Cavill?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so
yeah.
yeah, but he at one point he's fighting someone and he's got him in an arm bar. and I was like, oh yeah.
You're like, yes.
So,
You're like, I know that move.
Solid technique. He's got it set up right.
I mean, to me, Guardians of the Galaxy's movies trilogy is still
well, that's the same
favorite.
director
Is it?
as the Superman.
Oh, James Gunn.
James Gunn is the director.
What I
yeah.
like, the funny thing is, it's like obviously past 5 years, especially the early part, like there was definitely some weird cancel culture stuff going on, and some movies and TV shows were kind of whack, I guess.
Yeah.
When the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, it was like, I felt like it had all of the right like values and characteristics, because if you think about it, it's like you have the villain who is basically trying to play God, and he's a transhumanist, globalist type character that is trying to like,
control everybody
and create new creatures and new planets and a utopia,
right.
and this kind of Marxist utopia. And then he is defeated by a group of friends who love each other and care about each other. And like, so they win through love. And that, you also have in there like forgiveness. There's the one gold guy that gets forgiven at the end. And just like, you have all of these good values. And to see that in the movie, I was like,
I love those movies, man. The
Yeah,
Guardians of the
right.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
They're one of my. I just love like the humor behind
oh,
it.
the dancing,
The
humor,
dance,
music.
the
It's just freaking all
everything.
great.
Like, and there was definitely elements of that in the Superman, like lots of like funny little.
Probably because of James
Yeah,
Gunn.
100%. Yeah, I didn't even know that until it was over, and my brother was like, "Oh, it's same guys that did the Guardians of the Galaxy movie." Oh, I can totally see that now. So it was.
Where did he go to high school?
I don't know.
Super St. Louis question.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. Definitely like.
Probably Clayton.
But as someone who has, you've sat with a lot of people who have done psychedelics, ayahuasca, do you think pain, whether it be trauma or addiction or loss, is a necessary ingredient for creativity?
I think there's two paradigms to that. I think there's the person that maybe like grew up with like ultimate love and support and has no trauma and has complete full access to this flow state where he can create. And then I think there's the other end where there's so much pain that you can source the creativity through that experience of pain as an outlet. And then maybe the creativity gets lost somewhere in the middle. I just made that up. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Just curious, yeah.
Why? What made you think of that?
We always come up with a handful of questions before the episode, and I was like, I haven't even asked one of them yet. So that was,
That's when you know it's a good episode.
Yeah, 100%. When we don't even have to look at the questions, and we always have some stuff prepared on here, and I was like just looking at that. I was like, oh man, we've been talking an hour. I haven't even asked one of these questions.
damn.
Yet. So I'm gonna throw one of these at Nick and see what he says.
Throw a couple.
Yeah.
For someone that's getting back to the psychedelics, you mentioned, so for someone that's interested in it, wanting to get started in it, where do you recommend starting, a starting point for them?
Google. No, I don't know. There is a lot of like, because you can go down to Peru and like there's like a gas station with like shamans like serving ayahuasca. So it's like I've
What?
heard
Really?
bad stories about people going down. There's great places down there, but like there's also lots of like fly by night. So it's just like show up to places where people have likely done some of these
Mhm.
and just start talking and making friends. Go to a yoga studio. A lot of these yogis have gone and sat with it, or they know somebody. There's a psychedelic society in St. Louis that has meetups. There's like, reach out to my friend, GV Freeman, about his book. It's like he can help direct. It's just like, it's networking. It's networking 101. It's like nothing different than like getting into the real estate and the mortgage business.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But you definitely want to cross-reference any shaman that you would be sitting with, because there's ones that are better than others. I just happened to like land and sit with the world-class one my first time, and I've been sitting with him since. So it's like, have no desire to sit anywhere else.
Sure. Well,
But,
you've created those relationships. And
yeah.
You don't want to, yeah. That's awesome. Well, and one thing we talked about last time that we haven't really brought up this time is I know we were kind of, the motel was kind of
Yes.
like in development last time you were here. So what's kind of the latest with that? You know, kind of stepping into that hospitality space. And
I am not in the hospitality space, because as soon as it was done in September, I was able to like, step back and let my partners run the hospitality portion. I honestly, I think it's doing good. I'm not super involved, like looking at the numbers there, because our game plan was always to sell it in 5 years. So I just don't want to add to my daily thoughts of like what's going on at the motel. It's either going to do good or it's not. Like I built it, did a gut rehab, and got it from point A to point B, and like it's up to my partners
To do the rest. Yeah.
But I'm not cut out for the hospitality business. I don't know. I just like, it's very slow and very bending over for like customers and salesy. And it's like, I like that construction and design aspect of real estate development, and the fact that you create a product and somebody comes and looks at it. If
That's
they're interested, they
beautiful.
buy it. And if they're not interested, they don't buy it. I don't have to like sell it to you and beg you,
Right.
and it's like,
You don't
so,
know, you don't.
and also there could be some undiagnosed ADHD where I just like driving around in my car from job site to job site, and not sitting in a computer. So it's
Totally.
pretty nice.
So other than the lot that you've got where you got the 4 going up and then you finished the Herman Motel, what have you been doing in between there? Any other interesting projects or that you've got?
My friend's house and garage got in the Central West End got decimated by that tornado that came through.
Jeez.
So I've been helping her rebuild her backyard and her garage with some laborers and carpenters and stuff that I have, and I don't know, just helping people out. And,
so do you have your own crews, or do you have,
I
just
have-
like guys that you?
I have 3 full-time carpenters, and then I have, laborers and masons that I can like pick up and call and like get at a daily rate to do projects.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
I think too is like back in spring, I was still finishing my Missouri project, which unfortunately we didn't get done till July. Put it on the market, and literally it sat 2 weeks, no showings.
Really?
And I talked to Jennifer Garcia, the agent I deal with, and she's like, don't take it personally. Like none of our listings are getting showings. Like everybody's gone for vacation, and also probably waiting for rate drops. And so our game plan is to put it back on the market maybe second week of September.
Okay.
Have you noticed like a ebb and flow of like when things?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I still think if things are priced accordingly, but now you're kind of dealing with a different price point. Because what's that one listed at?
$575.
Yeah. So that's kind of
But
what
I mean, even some of their 400 weren't getting like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
it's odd.
a lot of my listings lately have been in that like high 2s, low to mid 3s, and those ones all seem to go pretty quickly.
Huh.
But you got to think that's where majority of buyers in St. Louis are at.
Yeah.
Like the average, 2 household income. I'm sure Pat could speak to this as well, but like the average, 2 income household, is probably going to be in that $200,000 to $400,000 range. At least that's where I would say a majority of the buyers are. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
And at least that's where majority of my clients are, because I deal mostly with just kind of very normal people that have normal jobs, and I don't have a ton
I just
of,
don't even feel like you can buy a normal house nowadays. Like
Yeah, it's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly doable. I mean, I got a few that are under contract right now. So, I mean,
It's just
Again,
the
it's just-
prices have gone so like you're like 400,000 for what?
Right.
100%.
What?
Oh, absolutely.
It's
I mean,
crazy
it's
'cause
crazy what they're.
4 years ago, that was a $300,000 house or a
Yes,
250.
or 250. Yeah, and you're
Well,
like,
shit, I remember when I first got in the business 10 years ago, my average loan amount was like 190. Now it's 260. And I'm just like,
and that's probably a smaller
right.
house. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I will say this year I've had more large down payments than any other year I've had. Like I'm talking anywhere from 25 to 30% down on stuff. That's the largest that I've had this year.
What do you think that's from?
Well, I've gotten a lot of past clients call me back and they're moving up from when I first got in the business. So
They
now
just
they
have more equity. They're
more
like,
equity that they're
Yep.
putting into their houses. So, I think that's just kind of how it's going to continue to evolve since I got, I do work with a lot of first time home buyers still too,
yeah.
but yeah, like shit, I've got clients that bought, 3-4 years ago that are getting ready to move up and they've got like 90 grand in equity that they're wanting to put into, they bought at a perfect time. They saw those 2 great years of appreciation where we were
The best.
averaging
Yeah.
double digits in appreciation, and then I think that's a lot of things like what people don't realize, like in Missouri, sure they got the national averages and all that, but like we've been beating the national average for the last couple of years. I mean, during
I
COVID,
almost don't like when they put those surveys out.
No.
You're like, don't let everybody else know that.
right.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is because I know we've got some investors from California and the coast that are constantly coming in and buying stuff because they can still find certain areas, affordable homes, cheap
Yeah.
homes, and for a good monthly payment that they can make money on. So, but I mean, yeah, it's been crazy. I think, yeah, my average purchase price is probably like $330, but my average loan amount's like $260. Yeah,
More equity down.
right. And I'm starting to see too, like there's that, maybe my average isn't that high because I've done a lot of deals that have been 150 or less.
Yeah.
So but they're further out.
Yeah.
You're seeing more like people moving.
You're
further
living in a new
south.
place since we talked last.
Yeah. I sold the house. Moved into that apartment complex right there at 141 in Big Bend.
We went to the new Bartolinos.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If I lived in that apartment, it would be hard not to eat there every night. I was like, it looks awesome. It's delicious. I'm like, Pat's always posting pool pics on the roof. I'm like, damn, man.
That pool's
Do
awesome.
I need to get an apartment too? Like,
just to have it.
Yeah.
Just so I
Well,
can
that's
hang out
kind of
in
where
spots.
I'm at. I'm like, because when I sold the house, I was looking to buy, and they're just like my monthly payment on that house was cheaper than what I pay in rent right now. But the problem is like that house was so fucking big, and it was just me, and I'd have the boys every 2 days, and if I'd be working, and then when they weren't there, I was cleaning, and then they'd come back and they'd just destroy it all again, and I was just constantly working and cleaning.
you didn't need that much.
And I didn't need it. And I was literally living in 2 rooms, my office and the bedroom. Like that was it. I didn't like the rest of the house was the kids.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm tired of it. And we had a ton of equity in it. So I'm like, let's just get out of it. And we sold it. Right. We
Split the equity.
Yep. Sold it at a good time, got what we wanted for it. And at that point too, I was like, and I'm still on this kick, but there's a piece of property that came up in Steelville, 20 acres. It was like 120,000 for 20 acres. And the Huzaw hit an edge of it. So it had like a little beach on it. I'm like, fuck yeah. So, but it went under contract. Like our house hit the market, went under contract, and that went under contract like the next day. And I'm like, fuck. So now my thinking is like, do I just keep the apartment up here and find a piece of land somewhere and then just for now put like an Airstream or something on it just so it's out there and then eventually build like a barndominium or a house out on property.
You and me are on the same fucking page. I was just telling him before, like my dream is to have acreage on a river in the Ozarks with a house or little cabin or something like that. Like dream.
Yeah. Like,
And that's a beautiful area right
yeah,
there.
Just something to get away. Like, even if I had the boy, like that's the thing is like I get the boys every other weekend. So even if I had the boys, like just, you know what, we're going to go stay out of the property, go stay at the air, even if it's an Airstream, like there's some nice fucking Airstreams out there.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. And like for 2 days, they can sleep on a fucking out there for that. Like, and let them just
Get
run
the
around.
one with the bunk beds in it.
Yeah. Let them run around and just be kids away from everything.
play in the woods.
Let them be human.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? Connor and they're both getting into sports and all that. So it's like, but no, I that's eventually, like, that's my goal. Like, I'm still on the fence. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm still looking it up. I'm like looking at land. I'm like, how do I do this? Like, so I don't know.
I think my goals are just like too high on what I want. I'm like, I need at least 50 to 200 acres, with a mile of river frontage. It's like, sure, I could go buy a couple acres on the river right now, but it's like, I want the property that's going to be generational.
Right.
That's going to like,
Sure.
So.
Yeah, honestly, like looking at, I'm like thinking back, I'm like, damn, 20 acres. That's a lot of fucking acres. I don't know. I think maybe like 5 to 10 would be perfect for now.
I think there's other factors because I've been looking at land for the past 5 years. It's like, what are your neighbors like? You could be, that 5 acres could be butting up to the Mark Twain National Forest, and then doesn't matter.
No.
Like, you basically have 10,000 acres.
Right.
Or it could be like right next to a subdivision. It's like, that's two completely different scenarios.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, because there's a piece of property that I would love to have that's in Baldwin on Sulphur Spring. It's like a little compound. This father owns it. It's 2 houses. It's got, like, if you drive by it, you'll know, because it's got this beautiful white picket fence that lines Sulphur Spring and shoots back, and it's 8 acres.
Was it down back by Castlewood?
No, so if you're going towards, from 141, you turn right on Sulphur Springs. It was literally right down the street from my old house. I would walk past it every day, and I'm just like, I ended up talking to the guy who owns it, and I'm like, man, if you ever sell, he's like, yeah, this is staying in the family, buddy.
He said that?
Oh yeah, because it's him. He has one house, and then his son has another house, and his son has, like, they've got kids. And so, like, they're right there. I
think that would be so cool to have a family compound.
It's a beautiful piece of property, and like I said, I would love to have it, but I know that I'm sure it's all paid off. I'm sure they owe nothing on it, but I'm sure that property is worth millions.
What's trippy is when you find these properties in Baldwin that are still grandfathered in, like to have horses.
Well, so that's what my subdivision was.
Really?
Yeah, the subdivision I lived in, it was just a beautiful farm with horses on it. And it had this historic barn on it, and that's the reason they couldn't sell it and build on it, because of that barn. Well, there was a storm, knocked that.
Oh yeah,
the storm. Yeah, knocked that barn over, and Flower and Fendler came in and bought it up, built a subdivision in there.
Damn.
Yeah.
When I first bought my house in Eureka, there was beautiful horse farm with a polo ground, and every morning, while I was rehabbing my house, I'd drive by it, and just like, sun's coming up and you're looking out over this beautiful field, big old like 5,000 square foot like house that sits at the back. And what I didn't know was McBride and Sons had a contract to buy it. So now it's a subdivision. They kept the barn, and that is like, they got pickleball and group hangout area and stuff. But I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Farm's gone.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's like you were looking forward to kind of driving by and seeing that.
100%. And like not having as many neighbors,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Fortunately, you just don't have control over that, that kind of stuff.
No.
Not unless you own the land.
No. You never have too much land, not make more of it, they say.
Sure. Yeah, man. Well, Nick, is there anything that we didn't get to that you wanted to chat about?
No. Like we covered,
we covered a lot of
of topics,
So, Awesome. Well, hey, man, this was, and I don't think we were playing the Tombstone
think
game
so.
when Nick
No.
was here
Oh
last.
no,
Yeah.
this has been giving me so much anxiety.
So before we get you out of here, we got one last question.
Tombstone game. Here lies Nick. What's it say on your tombstone?
I told myself I wasn't going to think about this. That way I could actually have to do it on the fly. And damn. I was not a fan when you guys started doing that, because I always knew that I would have to answer this. Oh God.
I know. Yeah, when we had Gina and Melissa on, they threw it back at us and was like, "Fuck, I don't know."
Oh, you guys have never answered it?
Yeah.
Oh damn. I think it would say, died a human dancing and joking with loved ones till the end.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I like it.
I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, please do so. That would help us out a ton. Pat and I have a goal to get to 500 subscribers before the end of 2025. So help us hit that goal. Click that button. If you get anything out of this episode, please share it with a friend. Click that like button as well. Comment what you thought below. We'll see you next time.